Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our cozy corner of English stories. Today, we have a tale that explores a question many of us have asked ourselves. City life versus village life, where does happiness truly live? Let's get comfortable and begin our story. Once upon a time, in a world not so different from our own, lived two cousins, Leo and Mia. Leo lived in the heart of a bustling metropolis called Lumina, a city that never slept. Its skyline was a forest of glass and steel towers that touched the clouds. Streets buzzed with the constant hum of traffic, the chatter of 1,000 conversations, and the distant siren song that was a part of the city's unique music. Leo loved his life in Lumina. He was an architect, and the city was his ultimate inspiration. Every morning, he would grab a coffee from his favorite cafe on the corner, the one where the barista knew his order by heart. He'd walk to his office, feeling the energy of the city seep into his bones. For Leo, happiness was the thrill of a new project, the clinking of glasses with friends at a rooftop bar, and the endless variety of food, art, and culture just a short subway ride away. He believed happiness was about opportunity, connection, and the excitement of what tomorrow might bring. His apartment, though small, had a magnificent view of the city lights, a sparkling tapestry that reminded him he was part of something big and dynamic. Far away from the neon glow of Lumina, Maya lived in a small village named Greenfield. Greenfield was nestled in a valley, surrounded by rolling hills and ancient forests. Here, the loudest sounds were the chirping of birds in the morning and the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind. The sky was a vast open canvas, painted with brilliant sunrises and sunsets, and at night it was filled with more stars than you could ever count. Maya was a potter. She had a small studio at the back of her cozy cottage, with a garden full of blooming flowers and vegetables. Her days moved to the rhythm of nature. She woke with the sun, tended to her garden, and then spent hours at her potter's wheel, shaping clay into beautiful mugs and bowls. For Maya, happiness was the feeling of cool clay under her fingers, the taste of a sun-ripened tomato from her own garden, and the quiet evenings spent reading by the fireplace. She knew everyone in the village, and happiness was the simple, warm feeling of community, of knowing you could always count on a neighbor for a cup of sugar or a friendly chat over the fence. One summer, Leo decided to take a much-needed vacation. He was feeling a bit burned out from the city's relentless pace. He called Maya. "I need a break," he said. "Can I come and experience the famous Greenfield peace and quiet?" Maya was delighted. "Of course, the guest room is waiting for you." "Come and see how the other half lives," she joked. When Leo arrived, the difference was immediate. The air was so clean and fresh, it felt like a drink of cool water. The silence was so deep that at first, it felt strange to him. He was used to the constant background noise of the city. On his first morning, he woke up not to an alarm clock, but to a rooster crowing somewhere in the distance. He joined Maya for breakfast on our porch. They ate fresh eggs from a neighbor's farm and bread Maya had baked herself. "It's so slow," Leo commented, looking around at the quiet, green landscape. "That's the point," Maya smiled. "We're not in a race here." For the next week, Leo followed Maya's routine. He helped her in the garden, feeling the earth under his fingernails for the first time in years. He tried his hand at the potter's wheel, laughing as his first few attempts collapsed into messy piles of clay. He went for long walks in the woods, swam in the cool, clear river, and in the evenings, he sat with Maya and her friends around a bonfire, sharing stories and songs. He started to notice things he never had time for in the city: the intricate patterns on a butterfly's wings, the way the light filtered through the leaves of the trees, the genuine smiles on people's faces when they greeted each other in the street. He felt his shoulders, which were always tense in the city, finally begin to relax. He slept more deeply than he had in a long time. "I understand why you love it here," he told Maya one evening as they watched the fireflies dance in the twilight. "There's a real sense of peace, a connection to something fundamental." A month later, it was Maya's turn to visit Leo. She had never been to a big city like Lumina before, and she was both nervous and excited. As her train pulled into the central station, she was overwhelmed. The noise, the crowds, the sheer scale of everything was almost too much to take in. Leo met her with a huge grin. "Welcome to the jungle," he exclaimed. He was an excellent guide. He took her to the top of the tallest skyscraper, where the city spread out below them like a giant glittering circuit board. They visited world-class museums, saw a spectacular musical in the theater district, and ate food from a dozen different countries: Thai one day, Italian the next, Mexican the day after. Maya was amazed. She saw incredible art that moved her to tears. She tasted flavors she never knew existed. She met Leo's friends, a diverse and interesting group of people from all over the world, who talked passionately about their dreams and projects. She felt a spark of creative energy she hadn't felt before. The city was a masterpiece of human ambition and creativity, but after a few days, the city's pace began to wear on her. The constant noise gave her a headache. She missed the open sky and the feeling of grass under her feet. She found herself craving the quiet simplicity of her life back in Greenfield. "It's incredible, Leo," she said, as they sat in his apartment, looking out at the city lights. "There's so much life, so much energy. I can see why you thrive here, but it's not for me. I feel like I can't hear myself think." On his last day in Greenfield, Leo had felt a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving the peace behind. On her last day in Lamina, Maya felt a deep sense of relief at the thought of returning to her quiet cottage. Back in their own worlds, they both thought a lot about their trips. Leo found himself incorporating more nature into his life. He started buying plants for his apartment and made a point of spending his weekends in the city's large parks just to feel a bit of green around him. He realized that while he loved the city's energy, he also needed moments of quiet to recharge. Maya, on the other hand, felt a new burst of inspiration from her trip. The art she had seen, the new flavors she had tasted, it all found its way into her pottery. Her designs became bolder, more vibrant. She even started an online shop to share her work with a wider audience, bringing a small piece of Greenfield to people all over the world. A few months later, they spoke on the phone. "You know," Leo said, "I used to think happiness was only found in the rush of the city, and I thought it was only in the quiet of the village," Maya replied, smiling. "But I think we were both wrong," Leo continued. "And also both right," Maya laughed. "I think so too. Happiness isn't a place on a map, is it? It's not in the city or the village." "No," said Leo, looking out his window at the sparkling city. "I think we carry it inside of us. It's about finding the right balance for yourself. A little bit of the city's excitement and a little bit of the village's peace." "Exactly," Maya agreed, looking out at her peaceful garden. "It's about creating a life wherever you are that makes your heart sing." And so the two cousins, one in the bustling city and one in the quiet village, both continued to live happy lives. They had learned that happiness wasn't about choosing one place over another. It was about discovering what you need as a person and then building a life that honors those needs. Whether surrounded by skyscrapers or by trees, they found that happiness in the end truly lives within. Thank you for listening to our story today. I hope it gave you something to think about. What about you? Are you more of a city person or a village person? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cozy English stories. See you next time.